Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, we made it through the week.
Yes.
You know, we had quite a mixed bag. We had some rain, we had some wind, we had some sun, and a whole lot of clouds as of late. So as we work our way into the next couple of days, I know we're expecting a resurgence of clouds, correct?
Resurgence of clouds and resurgence of rain as we go into this weekend. But today, the afternoon is going to be fairly calm. As we take a look outside at Yakima, just below the banner, you might be able to see that big old moon. We did see the clouds clear enough last night to see the lunar eclipse. Now, if you joined us yesterday morning, I was quite fearful that clouds would obscure the lunar eclipse, but Mother Nature gave us a bit of a gift, giving us a bit of clearing during that time frame. But we are going to start to see clouds roll back into the area. In fact, that moon is already looking a little bit more obstructed right now with those clouds working back in. Now, in Yakima this morning, it is a chilly morning sitting at 26 degrees. Those clearing skies did enable those temperatures to drop into the 20s. Here's a look at your weather headlines today and going forward. Fairly calm weather conditions for a majority of this Friday. Shower chances could return as soon as this evening, and we are going to be looking at shower chances maintained all the way through the weekend. Wind could be gusty at times this weekend as well, and we also could be looking at some heavy mountain snow. We'll talk about all three of these weather headlines in more depth coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Kittitas County. A Tacoma man who failed to show up in court last week for his pending criminal cases is now being sought on arrest warrants. The man is accused of possession of stolen property and a stolen vehicle. The charges stem from him being found with a flatbed trailer stolen from a Home Depot in Silverdale and a camping trailer taken from Rodeo City RV in Ellensburg. At last Thursday's hearing, prosecutors explained to the judge this wasn't the first time he had failed to show up in court and asked him to authorize two $50,000 bench warrants. The judge agreed, and when the man is eventually taken into custody, his bail will automatically start at $100,000. An investigation is underway after a Yakima police vehicle hit a pedestrian. As a result, both Washington State troopers and Yakima police shut down Yakima Avenue between North 1st Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The pedestrian who was hit is a woman who's being treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries.
Washington State Patrol is conducting the investigation on behalf of YPD. That way we can remove ourselves from that scenario or situation, give a little bit more transparency to the investigation.
Now, so far, there's no word on exactly what happened. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. And the Coast Guard pulled off a dramatic rescue of an Oregon woman stranded in a river while driving. Take a look at this footage from the rescue helicopter. It happened earlier this month in the Mackenzie River near Springfield, Oregon. The crew had to carefully lift the 71-year-old woman from her car that had become trapped in surging water. The high water, darkness, and precarious location of the car stuck on a rock ledge in the middle of the river made the rescue especially difficult, but they were able to get her out and to a nearby hospital for treatment. A little bit closer to home, the city of Richland has announced plans for road work on Stevens Drive. Beginning on Monday, drivers should expect to see crews out working, causing some traffic delays. The work will stretch from Swift Boulevard to Lee Boulevard and is expected to wrap up in September. The Queensgate area of Richland continues to see developments as work on the second Tri-Cities Costco continues. Several businesses have bought land off Queensgate Drive or looked into nearby properties. That's according to Richland's Economic Development Manager, Mandy Wallner, who shared this at a recent economic development event.
These are some of the other developments. We have a new hotel that's headed up there. In addition to Idaho's Central Credit Union, it has some permitting that just came through. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A have looked at sites up there. So Kennewick is pioneering on those developments, but at least we know we'll be next in line.
Construction on the Costco is set to be completed sometime this summer. Several road projects are also expected in conjunction with the project. Benton County Fire District 1 is going to be asking voters to support a levy lid lift after their calls for service have increased by 35% over the last 5 years. They say because of inflation, the average cost of a new fire engine has nearly doubled since 2020. They also hope to hire additional firefighters and an EMT to help combat the surge in calls. They're hosting a public meeting to discuss the proposal next week.
The main reason to attend is just to get the information about what is going on with the levy lid lift and all that. It's one more avenue to get that information versus seeing it on social media or newsletters that we've been mailing out, that type of thing.
Now, the meeting will be held at the Fire Training Center at 1811 South Ely Street in Kennewick. on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And finally, West Valley High School seniors' accomplishments have resulted him in being nominated for an award that could take him to Louisiana. KIMA's John Franklin tells us about Seth Kangas.
I am currently a part of the JROTC program in our high school here in West Valley High School.
Seth Kangas is a senior at West Valley High School, and he wears many hats, from JROTC to his nomination for Mr. West Valley to even the National Guard.
I'm actually currently enlisted in the Oregon Army National Guard, and that means I embody the citizen soldier way of life.
Many people are impressed by Seth, like Mr. Liebrink, who first learned of Seth through watching him.
He really does go out of his way to mentor the younger students. Seniors don't always go out of their way to do that, but what I saw with ROTC was that a lot of them would look up to Seth.
Seth tutored Mr. Liebrink's class last semester, helping students learn math.
You have to be not only good at your subject, but you have to be able to work with other kids and command their attention. And our particular section was a bit of a challenge sometimes, but Seth was able to help several of the kids successfully pass their math classes last semester.
Mr. Liebrink is so impressed by Seth that he nominated him for the Billy Michael Student Leadership Award, which includes a trip to the World War II Museum in New Orleans.
The other thing too is you had to submit letters of recommendation from a couple people, and I didn't even have to. I had 5 within 3 days.
Seth has only a few months left as a student at West Valley, but he hopes to make the most of it.
The impact I hope to leave on West Valley is that I was a successful scholar, leader, and athlete, as that is the order that I have been taught to prioritize things in my life, in my school.
KIMA's John Franklin, thank you. And Seth will be attending the University of Portland in the fall. However, he was also accepted into Gonzaga, Portland State University, and Montana State University. Now with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan to talk the weather here, because temperatures a little bit cooler than we saw than even earlier in the week. But this is just kind of a precursor with the lack of clouds, right? Because the clouds have been keeping us a little bit warmer. Is that correct?
Well, the clouds have been keeping us a little bit warmer in the mornings, but in the afternoon, we have just been kind of sitting under some of those clouds, which means that the temperatures haven't varied too much. Now, today, we don't have too many clouds this morning, but unfortunately, we are going to have clouds rolling in abundance this afternoon, and that's kind of the worst of both worlds. We're going to see some cooler conditions this morning, and then this afternoon, the clouds are not going to enable us to warm up as much as we would like. We will see highs into the upper 40s to mid 50s in the forecast area today, staying fairly calm for a majority of this Friday, but by this evening, we could see some showers returning to the forecast area, and that will set up an active weekend. We will talk about all the weather hazards on deck for this weekend coming up.